Today is October 31st. Welcome on in to Daily Cards Live here on ClaibsOnline.com. I'm Joe Roderick, joined alongside by Bob Ramsey. Rammer, the 2024 baseball season has come to an end, and my goodness, have we already gotten off to a fast start in the offseason. But first, the Dodgers win last night, 4-1, a very anticlimactic World Series from what we were expecting.
Oh gosh, I don't know. I thought it played out. I know some people want one-run games and bases loaded, bottom of the ninth, 1 through 7 games. It's just not realistic. I think you got to accept the games for what they are. Whether it's you coaching Little League or it's the New York Yankees, the team that makes the most mistakes almost always loses. I thought last night was a terrific game. It went back and forth a little bit. Jack Flaherty was terrible, but the Dodgers didn't fold it up, and they came battling back, and the Yankees really played like crap. Now, let me try and be fresh as today's headlines. They played like garbage, and it was it's the way it was supposed to go. I know people are kind of ripping on Judge. Well, yeah, Judge didn't do anything, but Ohtani didn't really do anything either. So it almost canceled each other out. Now, I know people wanted each of those guys to hit 5 home runs in the series and, it'd be kind of a one-on-one showdown. And that's really not how baseball works. The Vince McMahoning of America has made us want everything to be an event. And baseball is not an event sport.
We're in the Paul Levesque era now, Rammer. We don't talk about Vince McMahon and his booking style anymore. It's now the Triple H Paul Levesque era of how booking goes, and that is how long-term storytelling is the way of the business these days. If you would please, in a way though, I mean, last night you look at it, and yeah, Jack Flaherty was terrible, but man, when Aaron Judge hit that home run in the first, it really felt like, you remember when the Red Sox came back and won that series back in, what was it, 2004, whatever, when they were down 3-0. They steal game 4. They come out and they're coming out, and Johnny Damon hits the home run, and they just start off big, and you're like, oh my God, they're going to do it. When Aaron Judge hit that home run in the first inning, you kind of looked and you're like, oh my God, they're sending this series back to Los Angeles. They're going to be the first ones to do this.
Sure.
And that's the way it was looking. But Rammer, I mean, that is what happened in that 5th inning. That is, I mean, high school, youth level stuff, what happened in that inning of just an epic collapse of a team in that 5th inning that should be talked about at the same level as Bill Buckner and any other major collapse of a team in a certain situation for decades to come. We should be talking about the air not covering first base, just happening boom, boom, boom. I don't know if you've seen, there's a still photo out there.
Yeah.
It
was terrible.
Yeah, there's the still photo out there of Anthony Rizzo fielding that ball. And you see him about 10 feet from the bag. You see Mookie Betts behind Garrett Cole, and you can see the bug in the corner that says 2 outs, Yankees up 5-0. And if you were to look at that and you were to say, hey, by the time they're out of this inning, it'll be tied, it's one of those, things that precede terrible events type of situation.
Yeah, it's and I think I'm not trying to put goat horns on a guy, and I'm sure he really regrets it. But I think if Cole gets the out at first, they go on to win. I really think they do.
It's 5-0. It's still 5-0.
This is my dime store. This is my dime store psychology, and I believe it in this case. We've both been around the game our whole lives, and I think Cole was pissed off at the errors, and it gave him, because of being angry, he had the brain cramp. And that's what the ace of a staff can't do.
Right.
You can never make assumptions, you know. You can even probably put that argument to Judge, not the anger part, but they showed it beautifully on television. He looked up at the last instant to see the runner. Why? Why would you even do that? That's a guy trying to do too much, actually. There's no need to look up. He's not going to run on you from first base on a shallow center field ball. It was just guys in the moment sometimes cramp up. Now, Volpe's play, it's happened to me a million times. You get in a little bit of a hurry and the ball is in your throwing hand, not exactly where you want it, and you kind of flip it out there. And that one is, I don't know if that one as much as a mental error, probably a guy speeding himself up more than he needed to be.
That's the only play he had. That was the only play he had on that ball.
No, it was the right play, but it wasn't the right throw.
Right.
That's what I mean. He's probably sped himself up, and then he just didn't have the grip he wanted, and Dinosaur T-Rex armed it. And I know how that feels. I've done it a million times, unfortunately, in my career. But I think it was Garrett Cole and his, in my view, anger-fueled brain cramp that ended up being the tipping point of the game.
We saw last night, though, Shohei Ohtani gets his first World Series ring in his first playoff appearance. Always great to see, the greats of the game celebrated for winning championships. There's such a long list of all-time greats who have never won a championship in their respective sports. Shohei Ohtani will not be on that list. So I think that's cool to see, and that's a moment now that you will have of Shohei winning if I would imagine not his last World Series that he'll be in on that team in the way that's
never know.
Built for years
you
to
never
come.
know. Ask Ted Williams.
I know. I'm just with the way that the Dodgers and the way that Shohei have set that team up financially for years to come with the money, with the the deferred money that he has. I think that we will see at least one more, if not more, for Shohei in his career. So, hey, offseason is off to a wild start already. Daniel Hudson already announced his retirement. He won his second World Series. He was on the mound for the final out for the Nationals in 2019. He immediately said, hey, I'm done. Hey, that's 2 World Series. This is what I came back for. We're good. I'm heading out on a high note. He's 38 years old, so good for him. So you get already one of those announcements. We also have a trade that's happened in baseball. Jorge Soler traded to the Los Angeles Angels. I don't even know how many teams that makes for him now in his career. He has been passed around so many times, but Jorge Soler now is on the move. And then the Cardinals today have announced 3 separate moves. They have decided to not pick up the option on Lance Lynn, Kyle Gibson, and Kenyon Middleton. Rammer, how will you remember the Kenyon Middleton era with the St. Louis Cardinals?
I'll just say, Kenyon, we hardly knew ye.
Favorite Kenyon Middleton memory of the St. Louis?
I'm surprised. Oh, I shouldn't say I'm surprised. Mildly surprised that they're moving on from Gibson, because he's a guy that could be a relative stabilizer in a young rotation. But if you're going to say, hey, we got a kid who can give me a 4.5 ERA, okay, I'm okay with that.
It is kind of building towards the Michael McGreevy starting opening day that I have been campaigning for, and I believe you have co-signed on that for that. So you're running with me on that platform of Michael McGreevy starting opening day for the Cardinals in 2025. So we're just getting steps and step closer to that. Lance Lynn is one. I understand why the move was made today. I wonder if they do maybe try to bring him back for a little less, knowing where he's at in his career, knowing that he, I guess, for the most part, enjoyed his time in St. Louis enough to come back for his second run, is from the area. So I wonder if he maybe, if not calls it a career, comes back for one more run and just kind of police that locker room one more year in St. Louis.
Yeah, that's a reasonable scenario. If you're going to go young, you probably ought to just go young, and but yeah, I will bet against him coming back, but I wouldn't bet a lot. I could see your scenario working out.
Yeah. So those are the moves that we know so far. As we, I guess, quickly are going to get into this offseason now, this hot stove season for baseball. A lot of big name free agents out there that we will be watching and looking for. And unfortunately, it sucks, but the Cardinals probably will not be involved in any of those big name free agents that are out there as far as what they will be doing this offseason. So any trades that are going to be made it's going to suck, but it's probably going to be to send the big name players out and get young guys coming back that we'll see in the future.
Yeah. And by the future though, it could be, yeah, you're right. It could be going to get a really good prospect, but he's an A-ball player or AA. On the other hand, if a team really needs whatever you're dealing them, really needs it, and they think it puts them over the top, maybe you get an almost major league ready player, like a Sajasi that the Cardinals got. He wasn't quite ready, we saw, but he's killing it in the fall again. So picking up those kinds of guys, it doesn't necessarily mean we're 4 or 5 years away.
Very much, very much looking forward to seeing what moves are made here over the next few weeks, and see some of the potential trades that we know are rumored, that we know are possibly going to happen. Outside, I guess, Nolan Arenado seems to be the big name that's going to be that they're going to look to move. I think that one, neither one of us would be surprised if Nolan Arenado is on the move this offseason. What would your level of surprise be if the Cardinals move on, I guess, first from Sonny Gray, second from Wilson Contreras?
Not surprised at all. I think they'll both go. Gray wanted to come here and contend. The Cardinals didn't contend. He wants out. And Contreras popped off at the end of the season. Now, it was very mild. You and I might not even call it popping off. I think there's almost a zero chance he's back.
Yeah. So
that's been the Cardinals' history. Do they change their patterns because it hasn't been working? You'd hope so. You'd like to think so. But I think they're both probably gone.
All of your Cardinals news and notes, we will be bringing that to you all off season long here on Daily Cards Live. When big news happens, we will get it to you as quick as we can here on Claibs Online. And Rammer, as always, we are brought to you by our friends over at Royal Banks.
Royal Banks of Missouri, the economic forecast breakfast is coming up in a couple of weeks. Give them a call. There'll still be room. We have the event out at the factory in Chesterfield Valley. If you're a business owner, in particular a small business owner, really tremendous insight on the program with the Royal Banks of Missouri Economic Forecast Breakfast. Go online to find out more at royalbanksofmo.com or 314-212-1500. Royal Banks, where better service means better banking. Member FDIC, and equal opportunity lender.
He's Bob Ramsey. I'm Joe Roderick. Talk to you next time here on Daily Cards Live.
Mungenast St. Louis Acura has the vehicle you want, like the all-new 2025 MDX. Get the new 2024 RDX with financing as low as 3.9% or lease with no down payment and just $459 a month. Lease the electrified 2024 Acura ZDX for just $589 per month with zero down. We also have over 100 Acura certified pre-owned vehicles in stock. Mungenast St. Louis Acura, better than ever for you.